Oh, well, g'day, flatties and reality defenders. It's morning here in Punta, and this morning the sun came up or a little bit after 5 a.m. I managed to get a picture of the sun at sunrise or soon after, and that's on the thumbnail. Now it's it was in the direction about above my head now, which is south, is sort of like a little bit over that way. So it was east of south, very much south, much more south than I would see from Brisbane in Australia. So Will Duffy was out this morning with his drone, and you'll see videos of that at some stage. He's got some good shots of the sunrise, and he's a little bit excited because, you know, these northern hemisphere guys, they haven't really seen a southern hemisphere sunrise like that with the sun in the wrong place. But I guess that's understandable that northern hemisphere flatties don't understand the sun, but southern hemisphere flatties, when they see the sun south of east, you wonder, what are they thinking? What are they thinking about how the sun can be there on a flat earth? So in here below the Tropic of Capricorn, the sun should always be north of you on a flat earth. Now, today we've got to sort out the gear again. We've got to pack our bags because we're flying out tomorrow. And as you can see, the clouds here are a bit worrying, aren't they? There's a lot of clouds. And I'll turn this around again. So we've got a bit of cloud. So we look here, that's southerly direction, and that's to the east of south, and that's where the sun was rising this morning. So a bit of a dismal day with clouds today, but towards the south, a few kilometres towards the south, we're hoping it'll be okay. So that's as I was saying. I'll just turn around again here. As I was saying, we've got to pack our bags, so we've got to check in our bags today. The flight is likely to be tomorrow. It's scheduled for tomorrow, but they can cancel it because of the weather. So, but we have to have everything ready. They've given us our briefing and instructions for what to wear on the plane and how to pack our bags and what we can and cannot do in Antarctica at Union Glacier. So we're very close to the pointy end of this final experiment now. So I mean, I really don't know what to expect, and so we've been told we cannot film the other guests, especially the flatties. They are worried about us taking the mickey out of them. I suppose that's fair enough fear. So we have to be careful how we film, but that's okay. The final experiment is about the 24-hour sun and a couple of little other things we got planned. You know, like let's weigh something at Union Glacier, let's look at the shadows, blah, 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 blah. I got a fantastic experiment taken with me that Where's Wally has made up. It's a brilliant piece of equipment. Let's hope we get enough sun. That's the biggest factor now. We've got to get enough sun because we know exactly what the sun's going to do. So questions here, how busy is it there? Well, I'm not sure. The traffic's a bit busy at the moment. I guess it's getting toward people going to work. And the airport is about 20 minutes drive from here. So it's a little bit to the north, about 20 minutes drive. But this is close to the city centre here. The city centre is sort of like behind me now. And yeah, so you can walk to the shops, you can walk to the restaurants. So yeah, what else has been happening? So the videographer for the event has been doing quite a bit of work. So I think I'm not sure whether I mentioned we did a distance, but yes, I did. I did mention I did a distance measurement yesterday. We haven't finished analysing the results for that, but we went out and did the distance measurements, and we used a couple of different methods for measuring distance. And do we have an approximate departure time? No. Oh, well, yes and no. The approximate departure time is tomorrow. They will let us know tonight after 7 p.m, I believe. But they probably have to depart in the morning. But we will find out what the departure time is tonight. So we've got our gear we're sending on the plane, and we've got our carry-on we've got to pack separately. So today, the gear that goes on the plane, the checked baggage, we won't see that again until we fly. And so I got to spend the rest of the morning just sorting out my gear, just make sure I got everything. I won't take everything I got. We'll leave some stuff here in Punta. And so I haven't spoken about dinner. So we've had 2 dinners with the first one was nearly everybody there. Last night everybody was there. It wasn't too bad. Nothing contentious happened on the first night. So we had a bit of a discussion, spirited discussion with Whitsett, and because I couldn't resist asking him a few questions and vigorously disagreeing with what he has to say. So that was interesting. So what have we got here? Any more questions? I don't know. At this, how am I going to cope with this? Too much excitement and not enough sleep. And like last night, I went to bed. What was reasonably early? I think it was midnight instead of 2 a.m. And I couldn't sleep much. I woke up at somewhere around 2 a.m. I look out the window and there's MC Toon and Dave McKeegan out there. They're out there. They're on the beach. They're taking star trails, and they were just coming back. And I think MC Toon is still asleep now. And so I couldn't sleep. I've had bugger all sleep, and but I'm okay right now. But I think it will hit me around about 9 p.m. So yes, epic. This is going to be epic. As I think it's already been mentioned before, that the flatties are already getting. They're getting an inkling of what's going to happen. I think maybe they're starting to resign themselves. Except I think I've heard that Whitsett has said on his live stream last night, "Oh, everything that happens here is going to be support. What was the word he said? It's going to make it better for the flat Earth. What's that guy been smoking? I don't know. But anyway, how's my hat staying on while upside down? Well, it's not the upside down so much because I'm quite used to that in Australia. It's just the blooming wind here. It's not hat country here. And the hat goes flying. The wind will probably pick up later in the day. It's not too bad right now. And so, yeah, that's right. He said it was, Whitsett said it was going to be win for FE. Like I said, what's he been smoking? That's crazy stuff. Okay, well, have they worked out? So I did give Jaron some lessons on how to use the GPS as a compass. So I'm hoping they got that right last night. I don't know how they're going with the excuses about why the twilight is visible in the deep south at night. Yeah. So the food. So the first place we had dinner 2 nights ago, I had steak. Steak is one of the things I can eat. I had steak, and you order it medium or medium rare, whatever you like, but they overcooked the buggery out of it, and it was not all that enjoyable. So we went to a different place last night, just something different, and steaks are cheaper than in Australia. Big, huge steaks, huge. And the waiter, I explained to the waiter that I wanted it red inside, not overcooked like the other place, and they did a fantastic job. And the steak was very, very delicious. And I did try some eel as well. Never eaten eel before, so it's a speciality here. But I didn't find it very special myself. It just tastes like fish to me. So, what else? What else has been happening? You would have heard on Whitsett's live stream, Jaron's live stream, or whoever, Jaron and Whitsett on the live stream last night. If you watched it, you would have heard Whitsett having a bit of a complaint about the recording and everything, and so excuse me. So to appease them, we are reminded that guests are not to be filmed directly unless we have their written permission. So for a lot of people, I think it would be fun to see the Flirt's reaction. Looks like that's off the menu, and so we're just gonna carry on with the experiments, and we'll do the ridiculing later, save it for later videos. So that's it. Yeah. Please show. How are you? I think I've already mentioned that I gave Jaron a couple of lessons, not on how to use the GPS as a compass, but I haven't given them any lessons on how to use a compass because I didn't bring a compass. I know Flirts are very keen on compasses. They say the compass is king. You know, you've got to use a compass. If you don't use a compass, it's not real. GPS is not real, and all this kind of rubbish. But the yeah. So no, I didn't bring a compass. MC Toon brought one. He hasn't had to. It's not performing as good as it should, and yeah. So the flat earthers, of course, they believe compass is one of their most favourite tools, but they're unaware of the limitations, really. So, so in terms of magnetic South Pole is in a weird place, but we are lucky at Union Glacier because it is still in a southerly direction, not directly south, but it's in a southerly direction. But I'll be using my GPS to determine south, and of course the flirts will be critical of that. I don't care. I know what I'm doing. So oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But anyway, so far all our predictions have pretty much come true. So I haven't really heard. I don't know whether the flirts made any predictions at all, or whether, I don't know what they're thinking exactly about, where the twilight is at midnight to the south. Ooh, that's a bit, they're going, oh, yeah, what's going on there? Oh my God. I think they already suspect that things are not going to turn out well for them. And that's probably why they jumped up and down a lot and say, you can't put a camera in our face. I mean, we don't care much about that because we're quite confident about everything. So I don't care if they put a camera in my face. They got nothing to hide here, but they fear very much. So that's it. So it's actually not too cold because of the cloud cover this morning. But when the wind picks up, yeah, it certainly gets colder. Jaron doesn't want another interesting moment. No. So, okay. I think unless we have another question. All right. So, isn't Antarctica a public space? Actually, I don't think it is. So, it's a private campus, as far as I know, and they treat it like that. And you sign an agreement before you go there. So that agreement says that, I haven't reread it since, but the flat earthers are sure that it says you cannot film other guests without their permission. Now, I do remember that in the agreement, but I interpreted it slightly differently. I thought the people in our group were not other guests, but I can see how they could be interpreted as that. I thought other guests would be strangers, but that's okay. No worries. They don't want to be filmed. They get very adamant about that because they fear they will be ridiculed, and I suppose it's in a way it is a valid fear. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, a bit of a shame. I mean, we would have liked to have filmed reactions and stuff. I mean, that's part of the fun of this trip, really. But, that's not going to happen. So that's it. A lot of people will be disappointed with that, but that's the way it is. The experiment will be enough to make them a little bit embarrassed. And what will be most interesting is what will happen. What will happen after this? Will the first corruption? I think I'm back now. Yeah. Okay, all right. In case it looks like this might get more trouble. Might get more trouble. Oh yeah, I'm back. It took about 30 seconds to come back. Pretty interesting. All right. Front to back. So yesterday, when we're looking at the shadow of the sun at solar noon, we had to mark out north-south. So I used the GPS and we marked the concrete here. So there's the south in that direction, and the sunrise was over there. And I did not get to see the sunset, but last night, at twilight, you could see the sky. Yes, Mattoon was streaming from here. So yeah, and we did a shadow measurement here, and wouldn't you know it, at solar noon, we put the tripod on that line, and the shadow went right across that line. Isn't that amazing? How can that happen? It's almost as if the Earth is a globe. How about that? Yes, MC Toon did. Is like, quick, there's some stars. We have to go out and film star trails. Well, that's correct, because we're only here for a couple of days. And we've got to grab the opportunities as they arise. And it's fantastic. So it's all good for these Northern Hemisphere folks to be able to point a camera south in the Southern Hemisphere and see something different. Because us people who reside in the Southern Hemisphere, it's no big deal. You can do star trails many times a year. And so great that MC Toon, great that Toon and Dave McKeegan were able to grab star trails. I'm very excited for them about that. That was when I was trying to sleep. There's actually some people have said, make sure you take star trails while you're at Union Glacier. Wait a minute. I think there's a small problem with that. Which so these ships are too close to disappear bottom up. I have to get one that's big and going away or coming in. So yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to see a ship bottom up, and the landscape here is not very conducive to long distance shots. Yeah, not convincing enough, I think. So although there will be some obstruction, you need something obvious to film obstruction. Right, what do we got over here? There's some kind of, maybe that's some kind of port there, up on the top of the hill. Up on the top of the hill is all their communications antennas in the distance. So let's see if I can zoom this a bit. Yeah. You can just see it there, up on the top of that hill. So they say, well, why do they put them on the top of the hill? But in this case, you could argue that, well, the mountains could block it. You get further coverage. But in other cases, it means that they go further than the if they were at sea level. The signals go further because the Earth is a globe. Right. All right. I think that'll be it. I go and get my bag organised and packed, and got the little bit of, you've got to make sure, get everything correct. So, all right, thank you everybody for joining, and I will see you next time. Maybe the next time will be at Union Glacier, but I'm not quite sure about that yet. Bye-bye.